super soft, slow cooked pork and a smoky chili ginger sauce, all served up with a roasted corn coleslaw. This one is a keeper, guys. Can't wait for you to try it. Slow cooker recipes are the ultimate lifesaver for me. I just love that I can sort of just dump, press the button, forget, and then something brilliant comes out on the other side. Amazing. So we're going to do that with some pork. We're going to make a pulled pork. We're going to start off with a little bit of a spice powder first. So I want to get as much flavor as possible onto my piece of meat. So I want some smoked paprika, and you really want the smoky one rather than the sweet one, because that's going to give you almost like that kind of Texas barbecue sort of flavor to your sauce and your meat. So try and find the smoky one. And then I want a little bit of ground cumin. And then my secret little ingredient here is some garlic powder. It kind of adds a background savoriness and a bit of flavor. And then I do want a decent amount of salt here because I have a very large piece of meat. So I really want to make sure I'm getting a fair bit of seasoning on there. Now just mix that together. So now let's talk about the pork, and this is the cut of pork that you want. This is from the pork shoulder, sometimes called a shoulder roast, sometimes called a Boston butt, sometimes called a pork scotch fillet. Basically what you're looking for is this beautiful sort of marbled, a little bit fatty piece of pork from the shoulder. Now this is quite a large piece. I'm going to cut this in half. That way I get two for the price of one. Usually I can make 2 dinners out of this. I'll have the slow cooked pork one night with the corn salad, and then the next night I might put it with some burger buns and have like pulled pork sandwiches. So everyone wins in that scenario. Now I want to get this spice mix onto here. And there's only one way to do this. You've got to get your hands dirty and rub that spice mix all over the pork. Okay, making sure you're getting some spice on every little piece of that pork. And now these just go straight into my slow cooker. And for the saucy part, super simple, I'm going to use my Marion's Kitchen sticky chili ginger marinade. This one is available in the USA and Australia, but don't worry friends, if you're not in either of those places, you can find the recipe for this from scratch on my website. So head there and don't miss out. This is a really great marinade, and I like to make often like a double batch and freeze it if I'm making it from scratch. So some little tips there. And I'm just going to pour this straight in. And then put the lid on. Now I'm going to put this on low for 8 hours. You could also do it on a higher temperature for 6 hours, whatever setting your slow cooker has. And if you don't have a slow cooker, I would just pop this one into a really low oven, about 120 degrees Celsius for 3 or 4 hours covered in foil. You'll get a similar kind of effect. Okay, so obviously I do have a stunt double pork for you guys. I don't want you standing here watching me for about 8 hours. So let's have a look and see how we've gone. Ooh, smells good. Now that pork is looking amazing and super soft. Just gently take that out. I'm going to put it straight onto a tray lined with foil. And let's just have a quick look and see how tender this is. Oh, I love that. I love that this has turned into something super magical, just with a little bit of time and patience. Now I want a little bit more color on the outside of this. The inside is beautifully soft, but I want a little bit of a charriness on the outside. So I'm gonna just scoop over a little bit more sauce. And then put this under a really hot grill, only about 10 or 15 minutes until you start to see some nice color on the outside. And while that's happening, I'm going to get our sauce cooking. I don't want to waste any of that liquid from the pot here. So tip that out into another saucepan. And then just simmer this for about 10 or 15 minutes until it's thickened up a little bit and intensified in flavour. Okay, so while the sauce is happening and the pork is happening, I'm gonna get on to making our coleslaw. And I'm gonna add just a little extra step here. I'm gonna wok roast the corn. That's gonna give us a beautiful smokiness to the coleslaw. So I've got some corn kernels here. These are just frozen and I just let them defrost in the bowl. My wok is super hot. And you just wanna toss these around until they get a really beautiful color and you start to see a little bit of char. Okay, and now I want to add a little bit of butter because, you know, butter makes everything taste better. Smoky, buttery, so good. So just transfer that corn to a large bowl. And to that I'm going to add the usual suspects when it comes to coleslaw. I've got some white cabbage and some red cabbage, and then a really good decent handful of some fresh green mint leaves. And then for me, I'm going to keep the dressing here super simple. You can just use any kind of sweet chili sauce that you've got at home. I'm going to use my coconut sweet chili sauce. I think it has some extra tang and a little bit of a coconutty flavour that I love. And then squeeze over some lime and just mix that through. Okay, so that pork has come out of the oven looking amazing. Just want to lift that up and onto my serving board. And now you want to pour a little bit of sauce over the top of that. And then the rest of the sauce, you don't want to lose that flavour, so I like to serve it on the side here. And I just like to sort of dig into this a little bit before I set it out on the table. And then our coleslaw on the side. And there you have it, guys. You've still got one piece of pork ready for sandwiches the next day, and dinner tonight done super easily. A little bit of patience obviously required, but not much hard work. Wow, that pork is so soft. Yeah. Smoky paprika, and then that beautiful sweet kind of sticky sauce. This is just so good. Hope you guys like it too. Hey guys, so my marinades and sauces are in Coles in Australia right now. They're in the sauce aisle. That's where you get your tomato sauce. I hope you can try them, and if you like them, why not share them with a friend? Thanks guys, see you.